Hey guys, Phil from Enza Music, Endine Custom Guitars, Enza Guitars. This is part 4 of a video for my YouTube channel, Guitar Works USA. I'll put the link down below if I remember. Please subscribe. It's free. It's just like on Facebook, like when you click like or follow. There's no charge, but it'll help me get the word out about these guitars. The more subscribers I get, the more the video gets seen by other people. Anyway, like I said, this is part 4 of this here video series of making myself a replacement road-worn Holy Strat to replace the one my buddy Roy bought off me, which I wasn't going to sell, but I did. He wanted it. So anyway, this one is for myself, and from now on, they're going to be renamed to the Rat Strat, because they're not gleamy, sparkling like a mirror finish. They're road-worn looking and like kind of like a rat rod, hot rod. So anyway, I'll be back in a minute here and go through the steps of finishing this up. This is part 4, part 3, part 2, and part 1. You can see on my video channel, YouTube. Just I'll put the link below, but if you want to just search for it, Guitar Works USA. I'll see you guys in a bit. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Hey guys, last seen in part 3, I believe it was. I was done with the Soldered. I wet sanded it, and now what I'm going to do is give it a little bit of a buff out. And the only thing is, my GoPro, the battery's just about dead, so I don't know if it's going to make it through this or not. If not, you're not going to miss much, just buffing. So, anyway. Hey, well, I was right. The battery in the GoPro obviously didn't last that long when I was out buffing this here body out in the shed, but like I said, it was just buffing. And I actually only buffed it a little because I don't want this one shiny. This is my Rat Strat for me. Me. Not for sale. Unless it's a real good price. But anyway, so got it buffed out. And yeah, she looks good. It's the way I want it. What I'm doing here now is I'm going to start putting the electronics in. I got my EMG Steve Lukather signature setup, active electronics, humbucker, 2 single coils, and the single coils are killer. But anyway, I 5-way switch. I put my kill switch in. I hit that on the drill press while I was out there. These things are so nice, noiseless, beautiful, nice and neat. But anyway, I also have on the back, which you might have just seen, instead of the 9-volt battery, since these are active, usually you have to tuck a 9-volt battery down under the pick guard for these things to run, which is all fine and dandy, except for when the battery dies. First of all, you don't have a warning. It just dies. And when you have to change it, you have to loosen all the strings as loose as you can get them, undo 4 or 5 of the pick guard screws down in the corner here, the bottom corner, and kind of lift, well, I would do it this way, lift the pick guard up, fish the battery out, change it, tuck it back in there, put the pick guard back on, redo the strings. Anyway, I have a Fishman 9-volt battery pack. You might have, if you watched one of my previous videos, you might have seen me saying, they're two different companies, Fishman, EMG. The instructions you get with the Fishman, if you're trying to use this with an EMG setup, the instructions are totally wrong. So after trial and error, I did find the correct way to do it. And the next build, I'll make a video on how to do that. I want to get this thing done. But so for now, I'm going to bring this whole thing downstairs and solder. You have to clip the battery wire and use this part of the wire has to be soldered to this wire here. And that'll plug into the, this will plug into the EMG system to power it. And then this white wire here has to be soldered to the EMG output jack. And quick answer of why the instructions are wrong. The instructions all tell you that it needs to be, the white wire needs to be soldered to the output jack terminal that has the white wire. Well, no, it needs to be soldered to the black, where the terminal that the black wire goes to. So that's a little hint of what will come in the next video. So anyway, I'll be back after I do this soldering stuff, and see you in a little bit. GoPro, stop recording. Hey. All right, got done soldering the stuff for the Fishman and all that for the electronic system. Set it in. I've only got 2 screws. I like to leave it that way until the thing is strung up and everything's make sure everything's working correctly. So I put 2 in. Excuse me. I installed the back strap lock, Dunlop strap lock button. I went to install the front one and I lost the damn screw. And of course, they're not standard button strap screws. They're much larger. So I gotta hit the hardware store and get one of them. Installed my Babix full contact hardware trim system. That's also got to be, you know, set up. I did test the electronics just by plugging it in as it is damp. You tap it with a screwdriver. Everything works. The switches, the tone, the volume, the kill switch. So that's all good to go. I got my Fishman is all wired up, and it's just sitting at the moment because once I get the neck and the strings on this thing, you have to adjust the spring claw for the tension on the trim system, the trim bridge. And what I like to do with these Babix are, they're mainly, most people set them up, screw them all the way down so it's dive only, like boom. I like to set it up as a floating bridge, which is tough. Excuse me. And a lot of adjustments back and forth, but this way you can also pull back on it, which I like. I mean, if you're going to have a trim system, might as well be able to do it all. But anyway, this I'll screw down after I get the tension on that set. So that's it. So what we're on to now is the neck. So I'm going to get this out the way. I'm going to take a little break, have a couple sips, go out on the deck, have a smoke, maybe toss a slice of pizza in or something like that, maybe even make a pizza. And it's starting to look like a guitar. So I'll be back. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Hey, all right, I got some pizza heating up. Put the body over there. moving on to the neck. So what I did was, well, first of all, here's the neck that's going on this here rat Strat that I'm building for myself. And earlier I had the first thing that you want to do is get yourself a decent notched straight edge for checking the relief in the neck, which I did earlier. And set up, what you do is you put this on the neck in between the frets, the little prongs, and you look for light underneath this thing. So if you see light coming through in the middle but not the edges, that means that the neck is bowed a little too much that way. And the opposite, if you see no light coming from like the middle but light coming from the edges, that means it's bowed that way. So you use your truss rod adjustment to level it out, which I had already done. So that was done. The next thing I did was take my little stone file, which I like. You can buy very expensive files and everything, which I probably will eventually, but this works fine for sanding down the tang, the little metal prong that sticks out from the frets. You don't want them sticking out. You want this thing to feel like butter. So anyway, you flatten them out that way, either side. And the next thing you want to do is take this and go on like a 38-degree angle. Kind of like that, to put the little angle on the frets so they're smooth. Do that on both sides. Then the next thing that I do is, this is a wonderful little file I got from Stu Mac, fret edge file. It's got the teeth on here, the teeth on that side, teeth on that edge, but this edge here is totally smooth and sanded really nice, so it won't hurt anything. So what you do is you take it and you basically just go over each edge of the frets, kind of lifting up and pointing down and curving over the top as you go. And with that smooth edge, it won't mar or harm your fingerboard. And you just do that all the way up and down on both sides, and that makes it really, really nice and smooth. Then the next thing I did on this, which I do on all of them, is I start with 1500 grit, go over the edges, the tops, very lightly, but take your time and just very, very lightly. You're just trying to polish them up and smooth them out. So I do that with 1500, wipe everything down. Then I do it with 2000, wipe it down, and then finally 3000 grit and wipe it down. And oh yes, they're beauteous. They're very smooth, very, very, very comfortable, very smooth. And these are the jumbo frets too, which are good for bending strings and stuff, and working with a trem system. So after that, I clean everything off with alcohol to get any kind of finger oils and stuff. Then I actually oil the fingerboard with, you can buy special oil, whatever. I use boiled linseed oil, and it works fine. I'll put another coat on this at some point in time, but for right now it's nice. Then wipe it. You have to wipe everything down, get all the oils off and everything. Hey, I don't know what happened. My camera is messing with me. It cut out part of the last section. So anyway, what I was saying is, I oil it with boiled linseed oil, wipe it down real good, Get nice and clean. I'll probably put another coat on at some point in time. Next thing I did was installed my Graphtec XL permanently lubricated nut, which is, they're very nice. I decided to buff the headstock out real glossy compared to the body. I don't know why. I can like remove the tuners and stuff and knock it down if I don't like it. But anyway, that's what I did with that. Next thing I did, I installed my Graphtec permanently lubricated string trees, which are, you gotta have decent string trees if you're doing a lot of whammy, guitar bending, stuff like that. These are great. Next thing I did was trying a new product on this one. Since it's for me, I usually use Grover's as far as the tuners, machine heads go. But I'm trying these here Diodario Planet Waves auto trim tuners. They're 18:1 ratio, gear ratio, which is nice. And the cool thing about these things is that you put the string through, pull it fairly tight. As soon as you start tuning, it snips the excess guitar string off. And also, there's no multiple wraps with these. You pull it in, you tighten down the locks, and the string is in there. Start tuning, it cuts it off, you're good to go. And they look cool as shit, and they're nice. So anyway, with that being said, I do believe my pizza should be ready. I'm gonna have some of that, and then I'll be bolting this thing on the guitar body and stringing it up. You don't need to see that boring shit. So anyway, that should be the next video you should see of this, hopefully tonight. I'd like to be playing this tonight. Is the next, what was I saying? Oh, the next thing that you'll probably see is this thing bolted to the body, all strung up, in tune, and time for a test run, I think. I don't know, the camera glitch got me all like screwed up here. So anyway, GoPro, stop recording.